Hello YouTube, this is William. I thought maybe I'd do a follow-up video to a video I did a year or so ago. I'm starting to get a lot more requests of me recommending a knife. And as I explained in the other video, and I'll link that one to the end of this one and kind of give it a prominence, you don't want me recommending you a knife. I provide videos of every model that I come out with, except for some of the prototypes and one-ofs and things like that. And there's a playlist in this video channel. If you go to my main page on YouTube and look at the playlist, it'll say work and new designs or something like that. And it'll have a video on every model that is prominent within the WC family. And I've designed over 100 different models in my short career of 100 or 10 years. Well, feels like 100 years. But for the most part, the most popular models there is a video that explains the design and what it is designed for. And just in a nutshell, all of my knives are designed with a woodsman in mind. Whether that woodsman is, and you got to think, what is the woodsman going to do? He's going to hunt, he's going to prepare food, he's going to build a camp, he's going to do some camp carving, he's going to make trail, he's going to do all of these things, okay? That's what these knives are designed around. So when you call and you ask me, can you recommend a knife for camping? I say all of them, because all of them are designed to handle camp chores. Now, my idea of a camp chore and your idea of a camp chore is probably totally different, okay? So when I sit down on the camp, I'm gonna cook a great meal. I'm gonna whittle on a stick. I'm gonna build some type of shelter as far as my hammock, a tent, something like that. And other people are gonna pull up in a camper trailer, you know? So, you know, all of these terms are very general. So to me, to recommend you a knife is really a disservice to you. So you know your skill level, you know what your needs are. I provided videos in this playlist of all of these knives and what they excel at, what their weakest point is, and all this other stuff, okay? In general, what I like in the field for a belt knife is the Fil-Lor. That's what it is today. Now, tomorrow it might be something else. I may come up with a different design that I like better. But right now, it's the Fil-Lor. And this design was taken from the Wood-Lor from Ray Mears tip. Put my Woodsman's grind on it. It's got the shape sort of like the Master Bushman and other knives that I have really enjoyed up until this point. In the shop, I always have a Taskmaster on my belt, because that is the best craft knife I've ever used to this point, okay? So if you want something as an EDC, I have an EDC model. I have a slick model. I have all of these models, but they're also good for the woodsman, for field craft, for carving, for food prep, all of that entails a woodsman or someone who is out in the field, okay? So, I hope this kind of explains it because you don't want me recommending you a knife, because I have no idea of, like I said, your skill level, your needs, because my idea of camping may not be your idea of camping. My idea of woodscraft may not be your idea of woodscraft. But if you look at those videos in that playlist, then it'll kind of give you an idea of what that knife was designed around. Now, on a caveat, as I've explained in the letter, if you do not get a letter with your knife, then you need to contact the dealer and ask why, because that letter has a link to a video called Batoning, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, okay? I am not a proponent of batoning. Will some of these knives baton? Absolutely. Will all knives baton? Absolutely. But you got to figure in technique. You got to figure in the materials you select. You got to figure in a lot of things before you baton. There's vibrations, there's molecular structures of steel. There's a lot of things that goes into batoning, okay? So I do not recommend batoning 90% of the knives. Now, if you use proper technique, wood selection, then you can get away with it for a while, okay? But anyway, that video, if you haven't seen that video, batoning, the good, the bad, the ugly, you need to see that. And also I did a follow-up video to that about WC knives and batoning. WC knives, I want a knife that's gonna slice, that's gonna cut, okay? I want a knife that's gonna hold an edge. So my Rockwell hardnesses is a little bit higher than I'd say 90% of the other makers out there. My edges on all angles or on all grinds, from flats, full flats, sabers, everything is about 12.5 to 13 degrees on either side. That makes a very fine edge that will slice like anybody's dream, okay? But with that, there's a trade-off. It is not as strong as an angle that is 22 degrees. My angles are like this, okay? The majority of the industry is like this, but they don't cut very well. And I've explained that in videos. So if you have any questions, if you go back through and look at my homepage on this YouTube channel, there's probably a video explaining it and addressing your question. There's a playlist that's called Frequently Asked Questions. There's a playlist that talks about the AEBL process and the vetting of that. There's videos that talks about the R&D process and going through a lot of things in the design of the WCSK, other models. There's just a ton of information on this YouTube channel. Okay, so I encourage you to go back and look at that, because those will answer your question better than a 10 or 15 line email, okay? So try that first, see if that doesn't answer your question. If not, then please by all means send me an email or make a comment in the video or something that I'll respond to. But if you don't see the model that you're interested in that playlist or any of the playlists, just do a search, WC knives and whatever model that you're looking for. It'll probably pop up, okay? As somebody else has reviewed it or something, all right? Now there are models that's discontinued. So if you are interested in a model, the best option is to contact Great Northern Knives, because they handle probably 90% of the models. The only ones that they do not handle is the ones that are proprietary to, say, Ridge Runner, like the Triple X, the Black Hat. That's proprietary to Ridge Runner. The ones in Northern Woodsman Elite, those knives up there that Jason or Jarrett and Pano used there, a lot of those are proprietary, like the Elite, the Northern Star, a lot of other things that they're doing, the Edge. Those models are proprietary to their store. But for the most part, 90% of the models can be ordered or procured through Great Northern Knives, and that's greatnorthernknives.com, okay? So anyway, I hope that answers a lot of questions and at least points you in the direction of where to go to find a knife that fits your needs, okay? Not something I would use, but something that you need, that fits your style, your lifestyle, and all this other stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your interest in WC knives. And I can promise you one thing: once you get one, it will not be your last one. I have customers that's been with me since our conception about 11 years ago. And some of them buy every model that I come out with. So it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one. It's habit forming, and most of the comments I get is, I've sold off all the other knives and all I use is WCs. That's a pretty common comment. So anyway, they are unique, and in my opinion, the best knives in the world. But hey, I'm a little biased. Until the next one, you guys get in the backyard with a little stick. Be sure to take a child with you, get the opportunity, and don't forget those plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. And we'll catch you again very soon.